Hey there guys, it's Frozen Joe and I'm here to do another episode of the 2016 Backyard Fruit Tree Project. And today I'll be talking about a fig tree that's called LSU Purple. This is a fig tree that was, I guess it was bred through a program down at LSU. Several decades ago there was a fig breeding program there. And this is one of the figs that came out of that breeding program. It's one of their most well-known. It's LSU Purple. It's this tree here. This larger tree. It's probably my biggest tree. It's fairly good height, but the characteristic that I notice most about this tree in terms of its growth, it just sprawls out horizontally. It just, I don't know if you can see, but there's a main trunk all the way back in here. I mean, the tree is planted, there's a thicker trunk back in there. That's where the tree is planted, all the way back there, down at the bottom. And it has just sprawled out horizontally in this direction pretty far. It's a good height as well, but it likes to sprawl. And I'm here today to discuss the Breba crop. If you can see here, there are some Brebas on the tree. These are both Brebas. This is a Breba here. There are some Brebas on the tree this year, but not really that many as compared to previous years. So I picked a couple of the Brebas. And they're right here. Roxy, be quiet. Hey, shh. Hey, be quiet. All right, let's take a look at these Brebas. Now, you see the shape of these Brebas, they're kind of fat and wide. They're fat, wide figs. And, you know, there are main crop figs also ripening at the time, right now at this time on this tree. They have quite a different shape. You can see here the shape of the main crop figs is longer and skinnier, but the Breba figs on this tree tend to be more fat and round. So this year all of my trees that produce Brebas, you know, besides Desert King, which always has a big Breba crop, but all my other trees, they don't have a very heavy Breba crop this year. I'm not sure why that is, but that just seems to be the case this year. Alright, let's take a look at these Breba figs. You can see there's an eye this is definitely an open eye on it. This one here with the larger eye, some small ants came out when I picked it, but I think they're all out of there. And in terms of size, they're not huge, but they're a decent size. Let me cut these open. And it is hot. We're in the middle of a heat wave here. It is very hot in Arizona right now. There you go, that's what they look like. Let's do the taste test. It's really quite good. It tastes a lot like the main crop fig. There's really no differentiation in flavor as far as I can tell. It's quite good. Let me try this other one. Yep, the same. These are good. These are tasty. These are my thoughts on this LSU Purple tree. The flavor, in my opinion, is very different from the flavor of really of any other fig I've had. It has a unique flavor that, if it's not fully ripe, if you pick it a little underripe, has a strange taste that, to me, kind of has like a vegetable taste almost to it, like bell pepper. If it's not fully 100% ripe. But then once it gets ripe, once you get past that phase, it's fully 100% ripe. The flavor is almost like the flavor of a raisin when you eat this one. It has a very raisin-like flavor. It has very high sweetness. consistently always very sweet. Even if it's not fully ripe, it still has a lot of sweetness to it. And it's very, very prolific. Produces a lot of figs. They don't spoil when it rains, or we get storms come through here. Some of the fig varieties will get mold in them. The LSU Purple doesn't get mold, generally speaking. It's very prolific. It's a very strong grower. But again, that flavor is very unique on it. And if you like that unique flavor, this is going to be an awesome fig. But if you're not crazy about that unique flavor, it kind of becomes like this giant sprawling monster of a fig tree. It produces a lot of figs, but they're just okay. And I'm kind of in that ballpark there. I'm kind of in that camp in terms of how I look at this tree. It's a big sprawling monster. It's real healthy, very vigorous, produces a ton of figs. But in my opinion, the flavor on them is just kind of okay. It's not fantastic, especially compared to other figs that will grow here for me in my climate. Every year, I will say this, every year as the tree matures, I'm liking the flavor more and more. I mean, these Brebas that I just had, they're actually quite good. And some of the main crops I've been having this year are also, they're quite good. And especially when you let the figs fully ripen to their maximum, they're not bad. But they just have an unusual flavor to me. It's really different from all the other figs. It tastes like a raisin. It tastes like a really sweet raisin. That's good. It's nice. I kind of like it, but I really like that rich fig, traditional fig kind of flavor. And to me, this tree is lacking in that a little bit. But it does have a unique taste that's good. And it's just, I would say just try it, If you're thinking about growing this fig tree, give it a shot, grow it. Don't really judge it in the first few years. Let it get a few years. This tree's been here since 2011, since spring of 2011. So it's been growing here for about 5 years. And definitely has improved, so give it a few years. And then just taste it and you'll see it's a unique flavored fig. It's different from other ones. And you just have to decide if you like that taste or not. But it's definitely something that's different from other figs. Now there are main crop figs on this tree that are starting to ripen as well, but I'm going to let that crop come in a little bit more before I do a review of those main crop figs from here. But this is the Breba crop review of this tree, of LSU Purple. And I do have some chickens and turkeys in the yard here. I have a coop for them over here that I built. They're new for me. I've only had them for like, I think 5 or 6 weeks or so. But the chickens and the turkeys have decided that this is their spot. They love this tree. I don't think they're under here right now. I think maybe me hanging out here with this camera and talking right next to this tree, they decided to go hang out somewhere else. But normally, this is their spot to hang out. They just come, they get under this tree, and I leave the coop open for them during the day. And if they come out of their coop, 9 times out of 10, when it's hot, they're just underneath this tree, because it's got a big surface area down there with shade, and they just hang out underneath that tree. They love it under there. So it's a good candidate if you're looking for a fig, to fill space or maybe to get big and cast some shade. It's a good candidate because it's such a fast grower. It would be good for a fig hedge. If you want to grow a hedge with a fig tree, this would be a good candidate for that because of its growth habit and how quickly it grows. And very prolific, very healthy tree. Guys, it's LSU Purple. Thanks for watching.